Okay, so we're going to do our update on uranium here. It is June 1st, so Wednesday night. And so we have the first day of the June candle. We'll look at CCJ. We'll start on the daily candle, or excuse me, the daily chart rather. And yesterday, so Tuesday, right? So today's Wednesday night. Yesterday, Tuesday, we had a massive bearish outside bar on day 12. So we opened, we opened here, right? I'll zoom in even closer. So you had this tiny range candle the previous day, and we opened up here. We made it all the way up here, and then we closed all the way down here. So massive failure. So we made a new high on day 12, and we also made a new low because we broke below the previous day's low. And then we had bearish follow through today, but this lower wick is telling you there was there was a rally in the end. So we, some support, some semblance of support kind of held, which is interesting. It's good to know about. So we have a potential daily cycle top on day 12, very possible. But given that this didn't continue to bleed, we could also see this. We could easily see, a little bit of a little retracement, maybe a few more days down, and then another move up. So we'll have to see. On the weekly chart, more important actually, to kind of understand where are we in the weekly cycle in the context of the daily cycle, right? Because the only way we would have an early daily cycle high is if we were still in weekly cycle decline. And so this is our current week right now. We had a swing low the week of May 9th, or excuse me, we have a swing low, a weekly swing low from the week of May 9th. So as long as we stay above 23.16, that swing low is in place, and we're right now at 24.28. The problem is we are at risk of making a new low, like making a low below last week's low. So you can see this is a candle for last week's low, and this is our current candle. We're perilously close to the low, right? That is somewhere in the 23.20 range, you could call it, right? And so another dollar down, and we've now made a new low on the weekly, which makes this candle a swing low. Actually, in this case, this candle will be your swing low because it would be a bearish outside candle. We could also consolidate here for a little bit and then get follow through next week. But the point is, that would tell you that this swing low from week 15 is not your weekly cycle low, and this is actually week 18, right? So this is week 16, 17, 18. So that's what we're watching for. Do we make this new low? And thinking about the multi-time frame analysis, this bearish candle, of course, is being caused by that really big bearish outside candle on the daily. That's how the lower time frames cascade into the higher time frames, as I always say. And then if we look at the monthly, and this is really a theme across pretty much all markets. If you think about it, we made a major cycle low with the COVID crash, right? So that was, obviously March 2020. And so a lot of that was the start of a long-term cycle for many asset classes. The same for CCJ, right? For the uranium sector. And so April was month 25, and we are still sitting beneath a swing high from April, right? The monthly April candle was marked a high at 30 excuse me, at 32.49. That candle's low is 25.21, right? So we're about $1 below that swing high at this point. And so that's really bad news. This is telling us that this candle here, we have a potential, call it 3-year cycle top, right? On month 25. And, in a 3-year cycle being approximately 36 months, that would mean a lot of potential downside all the way into March 2023, right? That's what I have denoted here. It's just, this is not a prediction, it's a scenario, right? And if we continue to see, bearish follow through, right? Something like that, right? The more bearish follow through we see, the more likely, excuse me, it is that scenario is going to come to pass, right? If we continue to move lower, we come up, we hit our head on this resistance. It's like, oh, we're going to maybe make a move down. So we're going to have to watch for that. And again, I think this could affect many markets. This is really just one sort of particular sort of sector that's going to be impacted by the larger trend. A potential larger cycle low in place. So it's possible that broader markets are making their way into a larger cycle low, which would be pretty bad news if you're bullish.